Alright, so, if anyone has anything they want to bring up, there will be time for that. Go ahead and put your light orange if you have something you want to say, and we'll talk in turn, as usual. I'm gonna go ahead and go down the pre-meeting discussion, just look over the threads, see what kind of agenda we can pull from that, and we'll go from there. So we just want to, for starters, make mention of the book study that our Bible study leaders on Girth and Scribe are leading every Sunday night. Believe it's at 5 p.m. Let me see. If you have any interest in that, right now they're going through the book called Prodigal God.
The Winged
I
Scribe
believe they're
joined
on
your
chapter
channel.
3 at this point. Scribe, do you want to say anything about the book study? Perfect timing.
Sorry, what?
I was just announcing the book study.
Oh, yeah, we're on chapter
3, I think.
Yeah, we didn't have it last week. People didn't show up, so I think we're still on chapter 3. Onger's leading it this week.
What time is it on Sundays?
Nah. Gosh. Dude, I literally just got back from eating dinner with my family. You expect me to be able to think when my
MJ
stomach
Caboose
is the
joined
most
your
important
channel.
part of my body right now. 8 o'clock Eastern, so 7 Central? That sounds right.
So yeah, so if you have any interest in that, I mean, the expectation at this point is that the people who are participating read the chapter ahead of time and show up to discuss it. But I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem if you just want to pop in and see what's up, see if it's something you want to take part in. Let's see.
Global joined your channel.
Actually, as I look up at the Bible study channel, right underneath the Bible study channel is the CC book study, and it says 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, 5 Pacific.
Oh, there you go. Right on the channel.
So there you go.
Awesome.
Go team.
Alright, I see here Dynamite suggested something regarding Twitter versus Facebook. Do you want to say anything about that? So you have the floor.
I think it's pretty much self-explanatory in the post. Basically, just trying to take a picture instead of forcing people to go to Facebook to read the rest of the post. For the devotions, at least.
So tweeting screenshots of the devotions to post to Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you use something like a light shot for that? I think that's a pretty good application for screen capping.
Yeah, there's several methods. I like to use Giazzo personally, but that's yeah, personal preferences.
Indeed.
All right. Let's see. Also want to make mention of football's reminder here for the Rocket League tournament Friday at 7 Central. Football, do you want to say anything about that?
Sweet. Oh no, I'm sweet. I just signed up for it, so cool, awesome.
Mandrake is are you asking about the tournament?
No, I was actually waiting for the note I put in the pre
Global left your channel.
Oh, gotcha. The Twitch Connect. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip that over. You want to talk about that
Custom
a little bit?
Elvis joined your channel.
I actually approached my pastor at my local church and kind of get some guidance about it. I know we are a Christian crew gaming community where we talk about we're Christian first and gamers second. And when I approached my pastor about what I'm doing, is somehow I've been led to a Facebook group called Twitch Connect, where I
Hmm.
don't know if they know about
Global
God
joined your
or
channel.
Christ. So I was chosen as a moderator there, and I try to tell them about Christian Crew Gaming. And what I'm doing there is
Links joined your
basically acting
channel.
as a bridge for someone to come to our community. And it's great to exist in both, in the world, in Christ. It's just my way of saying, hey, this is just a bridge. I'm acting as a bridge, and hopefully I can plant seeds out in the world, and they can come and check out what Christian Crew Gaming is about. So that's what I meant. That's why I mentioned that post that I'm a moderator there, and the reason why I actually mentioned that is, again, for clarification. And the other question I ask is, um, what can I do to help attract people to come here and still remain in a godly standard? And that's the question I wanted to kind of bring to the meeting.
So, what I'm trying to understand is, so basically, you're asking, how do you, what, basically tell others about Christ and like the stuff like Twitch communities and stuff? Is that what you're trying to? I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to do here. I'm a little bit lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It's basically start a conversation with a person that's dedicated to their either Twitch channel, and then I would mention, hey, this is what I do for church, and I'm also part of Christian Crew Gaming community. So it kind of plant the seed that saying you can still exist as a Twitch person and somehow find Christ. So
Hmm.
thanks, Neo.
All right. So I mean, you're asking about what we can do to attract people while maintaining a godly standard. I mean, I'm not quite sure what
Okay, here's a
is there
scenario.
anything you have? Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Here's a scenario that I came across in the actual Twitch community. There was a separate member that started his own community, but advertises it in Twitch Connect. And the census is that they didn't. It felt like they were using community to poach members, and what I entailed was, hey guys, they're all like us. They're streamers. They're gamers, and we're all the same. Love them, even though they look like their competition. Love them. So I'm basically saying is that I'm trying to portray a Christ-like thinking when there's arguments like bubbling up.
So you're saying you guys are advertising back and forth, and you're worried about the competition, like being seen as competitive instead of collaborative.
Yes. It was just a scenario where two competing groups were kind of doing the same thing, or instead of growing each other, it's more like look at them as a collaborative group, even though they're separate. Look at them as a way to collaborate with, and 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 I try to portray that godlike thinking in that situation. That don't thinking of them as an enemy. Love them like Christ would love you.
Okay. So are you looking for advice or?
Advice, guidance, any tips on
The doctor, phone, joined your
how
channel.
yes, that's what I was trying to clarify with Neo, as how would CC gaming exist in this is if they wanted an alternative besides a Twitch environment that's very um competitive and very cutthroat, PC gaming has an alternative. So that's why I came to mention it here, is that
Global left your
it's
channel.
an alternative. I kind of lost at words, guys. So
I'm gonna take over for Goatman temporarily. He's got something he needs to take care of real quick.
okay.
I don't want to speak for everybody, but we've tried to get this across a couple of times in the past. We're not as involved in streaming as we could be. We haven't really built that background yet, and as a part of that, we don't really care all that much about whether we're promoting our Twitch, that sort of thing. So if we get to a point where we have like a set schedule and we have people doing things, we might want to get our name out there and be a part of that and gain followers. But right now, it's not like the focus of our efforts.
I
So,
see.
what do you have, Grid?
I mean, I think like really the best way to talk about like any group, whether it's Christian or otherwise, is just it just comes up. You just like conversations just kind of go and stuff. I see what you're trying to do, and I see what Neo's trying to do and stuff. I think what Mana Direct is trying to say like is that he wants to like tell other gamers about, hey, there's a non-negative gaming environment and stuff. So I mean that kind of stuff just comes up in groups that you're just a part of and stuff, not necessarily anything that you're trying to like push in a agenda or a group or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it'd be great to witness more into the streamer / gamer community and stuff.
Global
because I
joined
know
your
how many
channel.
people are on there, and I know of other groups that do just that and stuff. It just depends on at what point is CC going to decide, yes, we're going to focus on reaching people in the Twitch and gaming community and stuff, which I would like to see more of, because that's a little bit why I stream and stuff, and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I can see what he's trying to do. It would just be cool if CC could get more involved with it. But I understand. I kind of understand, I guess, where things are. But I don't know. I was just trying to help a bit here.
Dynamite Tiger, what do you have, sir?
I'd like to just give you a little bit of caution when online communities in general. You'll find it's just as you kind of spoke of, that they're very protective of their own community and don't want to see people coming in there advertise. It's kind of like you have a business and somebody coming into your business and saying, hey, come over to our business. And yes, us as Christians, we can say we shouldn't act like that, but these people are not necessarily Christians. They're not going to think that way. They're thinking of protecting themselves and their own community. So you got to be careful in a sense that you don't step into that same what's the word I'm looking for? Into that same spectrum of that you're going to be viewed by them as a person who's trying to bring people to your community, even though it's a Christian Crew is sort of a specialized community. Just be careful that you won't be pushing that too much. I think my best advice would be, if you can, put it on your profile, and things like that. And if somebody approaches you about it,
I see.
or says something like, oh man, I wish there was another community I could be part of, that's your opportunity to say something.
I see.
But try not to push it too much, because yeah, they're gonna definitely view you as saying, hey, you know what, you're not a good moderator here because you got your own agenda.
Yeah, I think Grid and Dynamite summarized this very well. Both of them basically said if this is going to happen, let it develop naturally in conversation. You don't have to go around and advertise our stream. We wouldn't want somebody to come to our stream and then go, oh, well, you only have like 2 streamers 1 hour a week or something. This sounds like a big Twitch thing. Again, CC really hasn't gotten that big in Twitch yet. I'm going to go ahead and toss this back to Goatman. He's back.
Just as I take a bite of my sandwich.
Mm.
Oh well.
Nice
Next
timing.
one.
Oh, sorry.
Rip.
A-okay. A-okay. I'm back. Let's see. Alright, so now I do see there are a couple other things that were posted about
Spandit joined your
between
channel.
Crosser and Dynamite, but that seemed to be more of a an outside conversation rather than really agenda related stuff. It seems like it was pretty much resolved in the thread. Is that the case, or do you guys want to bring that up anymore?
Oh, in regards to the mentoring?
Yeah.
I was just kind of adding a comment. I hadn't heard of this agenda before having a mentorship idea, but I was just commenting saying how that, just as Crosser had mentioned, this definitely happens naturally. When we're hanging out here in TeamSpeak and you're playing with games with people and stuff, you develop a relationship, you develop a friendship, and there's trust that ensues, and people open up. There's things that about PC gamers that you would be shocked to know, that not everybody knows these things, and they're not going to just open up to anybody. But once you spend some time with them, they start to open up, and gives you that opportunity to kind of give advice and mentor somebody. And yeah, I think it's a great idea in a sense, but I think just like it's been said in the post, it's not something that we can really
Kesserat disconnected
force,
from your channel.
or organize. It's just something that's gonna just happen because we are a Christian community.
Yeah. I think the Christianese term for what you're describing would be discipleship.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely, generally speaking, a more fruitful and fulfilling relationship when it happens naturally. So yeah, as far as developing a program or something like that, I mean, that I know all the council members here, council advisors, division leaders, are all open to give an ear, give advice, and yeah. So just let that happen naturally. Grid, do you have something to say on this?
No, actually, I have a different point on this subject. If everyone's like done and stuff, so I can wait. Just make sure everybody's done talking first.
Anything else related to mentoring / discipleship? All right, go ahead, Grid.
Yeah. So okay, I know that everybody here uses TeamSpeak. That's totally cool, and I love TeamSpeak just as much as Discord. But I know that like right now Discord is like a really popular platform. I'm gonna use a term platform here, because it's there's a lot of great features of the software. It's very well built, stable, etc. And I know a lot of gamers are using Discord and stuff. And I know that CCG's got their own Discord. So is there like, I mean, granted, it's difficult, of course, when you have two groups of people on two separate, I'm going to say, quote unquote, platforms, TeamSpeak and Discord, etc. But is there like someone that like manages the Discord, that say if somebody doesn't want to use maybe like TeamSpeak for whatever personal reason, because everyone's got their own personal preference, and I respect that, that like there would be people that like could I guess invite, like say like, hey, if here's our two different places we're hang out with, where it's kind of usually has a lot of the usual like members and stuff. I don't know, just offering people another sort of way of hang out with CCers on something like Discord versus TeamSpeak, if they prefer one versus the other. I was just kind of curious.
So we never intended the Discord to be a one or a both and thing.
Okay.
We were investigating Discord, seeing if it was a viable platform for us to move over to. We ultimately decided not to, and kind of keep it around as a backup for when TeamSpeak gets DDoSed or whatever, which does happen occasionally. But by and large, it's unused and derelict as far as CC goes, except in those situations.
Okay.
Dynamite, go ahead.
I let me caution. Like, I completely understand where council is coming from. This I've seen it firsthand, where community tries to support both, and it just segregates the community, and then it you end up having your TeamSpeak community and your Discord community, and there's no cohesion between the two, and it ends up just segregating the community even further. It's much better for CC as the council has decided to focus on one, and
Okay.
that way everybody is, including council members. And if any member says, hey, I need to contact somebody, I need to talk to somebody, they know exactly where to go. It's not like, okay, I gotta check this, I gotta check that, these different platforms to see if they're going to be there, or who do I talk to. It's one place for all. It's just better that way.
Okay.
Alright, we are now through our set agenda based on the thread. If there's anything anyone wants to bring up, kind of more free form ideas they've had since and just haven't posted, or things that have come up, more recently, or any kind of issues they want to bring up, ideas, suggestions, whatever, now's your chance. Go ahead.
I hate to be like always putting my res or late on, but
Don't worry about
it was actually just something that I had thought about joining TeamSpeak today. Actually, like, maybe just a show of numbers. How many people actually, with your TeamSpeak window, do you keep it maximized, or do you keep it sort of like an like the old MSN Messenger size, like just like a quarter of the size of your window? The reason why I ask, I'm curious, is just half second monitor. Yeah, I use a second monitor, and I only use like a quarter or a third at the most. The reason why I ask is the banners that we use for announcements and such are designed in landscape form. I think it might be preferable if we designed them in a portrait landscape, or portrait ratio, so they're longer instead of wider, so that the graphic, like the text, for example, will be much easier to read if it's designed in a way that it's longer as opposed to wider. It wouldn't take too much. And then the other question I had is, do you guys know, can you use GIFs? Can you use an animated one? So if, for example, could we create a banner that, for instance, every 30 seconds will switch, so it's almost like a reminder Sunday, you've got one banner, 30 seconds later it shows up the next banner for the next event, etc., etc. So you're not always having to change it every other day. It'll just show the same image all the time.
Raider
I
2473
honestly
disconnected
don't
from
know,
your channel.
if that's a possibility. Go ahead, Neil.
I could look into it. Primarily
server.
you're talking about the height of doing a portrait style banner, like you said, for people who are on mobile, right?
No, not necessarily for mobile. I mean, because from my understanding, most TeamSpeak users don't use a maximized TeamSpeak window. They're going to be using it as a minimum.
Oh, yeah.
So like the banner right now, the Rocket League banner, for instance, that text is super hard to read when you've got your window small. If you make your window bigger, sure, you can read it just fine. But if we design the graphics so that it's longer, so that you limit how much space you have for that text graphic, you can make
The
it
doctor,
longer and make
phone,
those
in your channel
text,
timed
that
out.
Text larger and easier to see.
Makes perfect sense to me. I don't think that anybody would have any real issue with maybe trying a couple of banners out in that mode and maybe seeing how it looks. Anybody have any problem
Wash
with us
joined your
trying that?
channel.
Alrighty, well, we'll give it a shot, but let me look and see if I can find out if there's some kind of banner rotator system for TeamSpeak. I haven't ever seen one, but there could be. I'll look.
I do know that avatars can be animated. If you look at, I think I saw Donuts was the last one
I think Globals is a really good example.
No.
Oh yeah, Globals is good too. So yeah, so you'd think that if avatars can be animated, have a GIF, then the banners should just work also.
Again, I'll see what I can find out. If it's something that's like beyond my ken, I'll talk to King Steve and see if he can install it. But that's if it exists. I really don't know.
Cool.
If not, it'd be a great thing to write.
Just like Wing Scribe says in the chat, then yeah.
The
just
doctor,
sort of a,
phone, joined your channel.
slideshow showing the different events for every week. That'll save some admin time of changing the banners.
Alright, I think Mandrake was next and then Flo.
Just a quick question about the Division games. What was the rules again of when a division gets taken down and a new one comes back up?
Sorry. Pretty much just based on what our activity is at the time. We typically tend to have a vote on it. Whether a game should become a division. There tends to need to be someone who can step into the division leader role.
Josh Fitz 08 joined your channel.
It pretty much goes based on what's popular, what the community is focused on already. We try not to force games to become divisions. We tend to roll with what people are already playing. We always welcome suggestions, but if it's not something that people here are already playing, chances are it's not going to get a lot of community momentum. So if you do have a game that you would like to see become a division, that isn't already, that we don't have a large segment of the community involved in, you might start by trying to drum up that involvement.
I know my channel commander's off, but is it always 4 divisions max, or?
No. It's very freeform in that aspect. Like we tend to not set arbitrary limits on things, whether people in positions or positions to have, or segments of the community or what. So yeah, if you have a suggestion, let us know. Anyone else got anything? Going once.
Hey.
Go ahead.
There is a banner switcher. I've personally witnessed it in a couple of different TeamSpeaks that I've been in. But I don't know how it's done specifically. It's either built into TeamSpeak or maybe you're right, it's a plugin. But I could talk to my one of my old TeamSpeak friends and maybe get a direct idea to help you spur it on if you want me to.
All right. Sure. Yeah, and any information that you can get us would be helpful.
Okay.
We're gonna look into it on our own, but we always appreciate help. All right. Any other comments, suggestions, questions?
I do want to thank you for my idea and offering the advice you guys have.